What's up guys, I'm CandidCrandell and today I'm going to be talking about my Pretty Little Liars Season 5 predictions. We are exactly 1 week away from the Season 5 premiere of Pretty Little Liars. In all of this free time that I've had, the little gears in my head have been turning and I've been thinking about all kinds of things that might be happening in Season 5 of Pretty Little Liars, and I think we need to talk about them. Who shot Ezra? Whoever did it is automatically going to become my least favorite character in the entire Pretty Little Liars universe. I don't care who you are, I hate you. Whoever it is obviously not on the same team as Alli. So I think that we can rule out Noel, unless this is all like way more messed up than we even know, which is totally possible, but whatever. It's someone on the A team, obviously, but I do not think it is UberA. I don't think that UberA is stupid enough to get their hands dirty. I am thinking that it's Lucas. The way that Ezra was speaking to the person in the black hoodie, I feel like is really significant because Ezra seemed like he knew who that was. Didn't seem like he was talking to a peer, like an adult or something. It definitely felt very much like a teacher confronting a student. And he's already had a confrontation with Lucas in the past in front of the photo store. Remember? Lucas seemed pretty scared of him even then. It wouldn't surprise me if it was Lucas, because if you think about it, the kid's been in homeschool, so he could be in New York pretty easily and no one would really question it. He has the ability to travel around. Remember when Caleb left and then he went and got him, drove all the way out there to get him and then drove back? His parents clearly don't question where he goes, and he has a car and he's allowed to just go as he pleases, so he could have very easily gotten to New York from Rosewood. Is Ezra going to survive getting shot? I think it's safe to say yes. I don't want to jinx anything, and I know that nothing is for certain in the Pretty Little Liars universe, but based on the fact that Ian Harding has been on set a great deal, I'm going to make the assumption that Ezra survives. It's going around that he is not going to remember the stuff that he had figured out earlier. I don't know why he would have amnesia after getting shot in the stomach, but apparently he does. Maybe it's just because he goes into a coma and he like forgets things from being in the coma. But I think it's safe to say that Ezra Fitz is going to live to see another day. Thank you, Pretty Little Liars writing gods, because I don't think I could handle the death of Ezra Fitz. You might lose me. Who killed Mrs DiLaurentis? That was like really crazy to see her getting buried. Not alive, just buried. Still really creepy. I'm wondering if whoever killed Mrs. DiLaurentis is someone who was on Alli's team, because I think that Alli has her own team of people. She's been able to be in hiding for like 2 years with people thinking that she's dead, so clearly she has some people helping her, and I don't trust them or her. Alli had said many times before that she did not want her mother to know that she was alive. She said that she didn't trust her. I mean, I guess the whole getting buried alive by her thing kind of makes sense. I get it. I don't think Alison would have felt safe coming back to Rosewood with her mother still there. So it wouldn't be surprising to me if someone on Alli's team was in Rosewood taking care of Mrs. DiLaurentis, making it safe for Alison to come back. It could potentially be Noel. Noel did take all of the girls' cell phones, and whenever cell phones are taken, I always get sketched out because they usually get planted in places that they should not be, on bodies. I also think that Melissa obviously could have done it. Mrs. DiLaurentis was also at the police station, so there's reason to believe that if Melissa was there and Mrs. DiLaurentis was there, it's possible that Melissa could have taken her from there. Not entirely sure what Melissa's motive would be, unless Melissa is the one who hit Alli over the head with the rock. Why take care of Mrs. DiLaurentis now if she saw you do that years and years and years ago? Like, even if her daughter was dead, I don't know. But maybe that's the agreement that Peter Hastings has with Jessica DiLaurentis. It's something about Melissa. Can Alison DiLaurentis be trusted? I am not so sure. Not necessarily excited to see her like come back and be like the queen bee again. I am definitely more interested in seeing people's perceptions of her change after thinking that she was dead for 2 years. Like Melissa mentioned in an earlier season, over half the town wanted Allison to disappear. I'm sure that the girls weren't the only ones who were just a tiny bit relieved when Allison went missing, hoping that maybe something had happened and then their secrets were buried with her. Think about all of the resources that the police have put into finding this girl. Think about the people that have been accused of her murder, people that have died after being accused of her murder. I think people are gonna have a lot of feelings about her being back, and I don't think she's going to necessarily step into her queen bee role again. Like, she's been gone for 2 years, and in high school, 2 years is a lot of time. Plus, I think people are going to think it's a little bit sketchy that as soon as Mrs. DiLaurentis goes missing, Allison DiLaurentis is suddenly like alive and back in town. She's gonna have a lot of questions to answer for people, and I don't think she's necessarily prepared to be honest. There's part of me that is like a little bit unsure if the A harassing the girls is the same A that's been harassing Allison. Go with me on this. When Allison was the only one being harassed when it all started, no one did anything about it because it was only her and no one knew. She felt scared enough to run away. Then if she decides to pretend to be A and like use all of these secrets against the girls and everything, the girls all think that A is also harassing them. Now, Alli and the girls have a common enemy, and Alli has an army of people who she is able to use to distract A. It really wouldn't surprise me at this point if Alli was just manipulating the girls for her own benefit. I don't know, it's still weird to me that A wouldn't start harassing them until well after Allison had gone missing, like a whole year. Who on earth is UberA? The head of the A team, the person pulling all the strings. A lot of people have been speculating that because Julian Morris, the actor who plays Wren, is currently working on Once Upon a Time, one of those shows, oh, well, maybe he's not A. I would hazard a guess that because we're not going to see A's face for a while, if anything, we're just gonna see hands, maybe a hooded figure. They can use a stand-in for any of those things and it could still technically be Wren underneath there. So the fact that he's not necessarily available to them for as much filming does not rule out his character as being A, especially when they're trying to keep us from figuring out who A is. Anyone who's still in high school is not capable of this. Lucas may very well be involved, I think that Mona may still be involved, but whoever is UberA is highly intelligent and highly manipulative and is somehow able to get all of these different people to do things that are like incredibly incriminating and illegal, and it doesn't necessarily trace back to them. When I think about who would have the psychological capability to manipulate people on that level, there are really only 2 people that I can think of at the moment: Wren and Melissa. I don't think we can count Mr. Wren Kingston out of the A game just yet. He may be lurking in the shadows, but isn't that where A's pretty much been the whole time anyways? Also, we still have yet to figure out whose baby Alli thought she was pregnant with, because it clearly wasn't Ezra's. She said to Cece that if someone found out she was pregnant, that he would kill her. Like, who is that person? I feel like that's pretty important. I also think that we're gonna find out this season how Toby's mother's death connects to all of this other stuff that's going on. 9 times out of 10 in Rosewood, it seems that when something sketchy is going on, it leads back to Radley Sanitarium. Who would have been in there that could have done that, and why would Jessica DiLaurentis have an interest in protecting that person? I'm wondering if whoever pushed Toby's mom off the roof is also the same person who hit Allison over the head with the rock. Who has a twin? I need to find out this season who has a twin, because all of this twin talk and speculation and little hints here and there are killing me. It's killing me, and I just need to know. Jason might be the one with the twin. In the books, Alli and her twin Courtney are actually the children of Jessica DiLaurentis and Peter Hastings. So if in the show they were trying to kind of stick to that similar storyline, Jason could be the one with a twin running around somewhere. Jenna might also have a twin. I think that it would be super, super creepy if Jenna had a twin that had been in Radley and was the one who killed Toby's mom, and then all of a sudden her mom mom married Toby's dad. That would be weird even by like Rosewood standards, I think. Jenna seemed to know a great deal about Allison when she first met her in the costume shop. Like Allison introduced herself to her and then she was like, I already know who you are. And I'm curious as to how she knew. Or maybe Jenna spent some time in Radley and met the twin. I would love it if Mrs DiLaurentis was the one with a twin. If Mrs. DiLaurentis has a sister who is locked away in Radley somewhere and she pushed someone off a roof, it would explain why, one, Mrs. DiLaurentis would be on the board there. Two, it would explain why she was extremely angry when Alli and Cece played that prank at Radley. If she already had her sister there and it was something that she had been keeping from Alli, think about it. The only people that she would be willing to bury her own daughter for is probably another member of her family. So if it was her sister who did it, that would explain her willingness to cover it all up. If you look at that twin story from the Halloween episode of season 2, the time period that those girls are young in, it wouldn't make sense for that story to be about Alli or about Spencer, but it would make sense to be about Jessica DiLaurentis. And it's highly possible that it wasn't that dramatic, that the twin didn't die. Maybe her sister attacked her when they were young and then her sister was sent away. That's something that she would probably want to keep secret though. Now that we know that Alli is the one who pushed Ian off the bell tower and she's saying that she saw him walk away alive from it, what happened to Ian in between the time that he left the bell tower and was found dead in a cabin in the middle of the woods? My bet is that he ran into someone that he knew and thought that he could trust. Probably Melissa. I'm sure that he had some injuries that needed to be tended to, and so if he was wounded, he might have looked to Melissa for help. Think about how quickly Melissa reconciled with Ian. It seemed like a really opportune moment, especially on Melissa's part. I don't necessarily think that Melissa killed Ian herself. I don't think she like pulled the trigger, but I do think that she probably had him in that cabin to hide him, and then she probably talked Garrett into shooting him. I mean, we saw the relationship that she had with Garrett. Melissa's not dumb. She uses relationships with people to protect herself and get what she wants. What was Melissa whispering to Peter Hastings at the police station? What we do know at this point is that both Melissa and Cece are saying that they know who killed the girl in the box. I'm interested to see which one of them is telling the truth, because I have a very strong feeling that they're going to point the finger at each other. Who attacked Allison and who attacked the girl in the box? Who is the girl in the box? I think we're all wondering that. It could be a twin of someone that is dead, or it could be Sarah Harvey, who we still haven't really figured out what her connection to this whole thing is. I don't think that the person who attacked Allison with the rock is the same person who attacked the girl in Allison's grave that was eventually found. Whoever the girl that ended up in Alli's grave was, she was in that grave after Allison had been buried alive and had gotten out of the grave. Both people could have thought that they were attacking Allison when only one actually was. Final thing that we need to talk about is the season 5 Pretty Little Liars poster. We have masks of all the girls and Allison's mask has a crack in it. Could be a reference to the fact that the mask that she has been wearing is beginning to crack. We've really only gotten to see Alli through flashbacks and we've thought that she's a ghost or a dream. And now we're going to get to see Allison deal with conflicts and people and the consequences of her actions in real time. She's not hiding anymore and we're not talking about her. She's answering for herself. So I think it's going to be a really interesting dynamic change this season. I am super, super, super excited about it. Let me know down in the comments if you have any season 5 predictions for Pretty Little Liars. I would love, 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 love to talk about them with you. If you don't already, you can follow me on Twitter, Tumblr, Blogspot, and Instagram. Username, CandidCrandell. I put out videos every Tuesday and Thursday on my channel, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of them. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you again on Thursday. Bye.